The man discovered a huge money-making opportunity while getting AIDS treatment. America surprisingly didn't have these highly effective yet cheap medications. He thought this was a massive opportunity. The doctor was instantly intrigued when he heard about it, and so, the man filled his trunk with AIDS medications, then prepared to bring them back from Mexico to the US. The doctor warned him that if he got caught, he must never mention having AIDS, otherwise he'd never be allowed back. To get through customs smoothly, he disguised himself as a priest, but security still found him suspicious, so they detained him. The officers told him he could only bring a 90-day supply, but the man claimed he needed to take 30 pills a day. All 3,000 plus pills were for personal use. Obviously, the officers didn't buy it, but out of respect for the priesthood, they decided to let him go. Before leaving though, the officers warned him, if he sold the drugs for profit, he'd face serious prison time. At this point, the man started swearing to God, promising all the medication was for himself, and just like that, the man smoothly returned from Mexico to the US. But selling the drugs was another big problem. How could he sell all this medication in the shortest time possible? He went to where the gay community gathered and started pitching, but being a stranger, no one trusted or believed him. Everyone thought he might be a scammer, though occasionally 2 or 3 people were brave enough to buy. The numbers were too small. But at this crucial moment, a gay man suddenly got into his car uninvited. The man was furious when he saw this. He hated gay people, so he told him to get out immediately, but the guy pulled out a wad of cash. He wanted to buy medication for 20 people. Hearing this, the man was thrilled, but the guy said the man didn't deserve his money because he discriminated against gay people. Then he angrily left the car. Clearly, this was a great opportunity to open up sales channels. Though the man was disgusted by the contact, this gay person's connections were indeed important. He followed behind to negotiate a split. Eventually they agreed to a 70-30 partnership. With the gay man's recommendations, those who didn't trust him finally started buying. The man's business grew bigger and bigger. To avoid breaking the law by directly selling drugs, he established the Dallas Buyers Club. For just $400 to join the club, all medications were completely free, and so, people needing treatment from the surrounding area started lining up to join. But then trouble began. A few months earlier, before the man was diagnosed with AIDS, he had an accident at work one day. When he woke up, he was in the hospital. He thought it was just a minor issue, but the doctor gave him a death sentence, saying he had severe HIV, with only 30 days left to live. Hearing this, the man thought it was a joke, because at that time people believed AIDS only spread among gay people, and what he despised most were gay people. How could he possibly have AIDS? The man thought the doctor had mixed up the blood samples, mistaking a gay person's sample for his. He immediately got up to leave, not wanting to hear another word from the doctor. On the first day of his AIDS diagnosis, the man didn't take it seriously at all. He even called over 2 bar girls and continued partying. Chatting with friends about the hospital incident, the man still thought he just had a cold. It couldn't possibly be AIDS, but his friend asked, what if the hospital wasn't wrong? This question instantly made the man nervous. To be absolutely sure, he immediately ran to the library to research, wanting to prove he didn't have AIDS, but his constant coughing made him increasingly scared. Sure enough, what he found left him completely devastated. AIDS transmission wasn't limited to gay people after all. Now the man increasingly believed the doctor's test results were real. His only thought now was to get treatment as soon as possible. But in 1980s America, only a drug called AZT could treat AIDS. Learning this, the man rushed to the hospital wanting to buy some AZT, but this drug was still in trials. Only selected test subjects could take it. No amount of money could buy it. After hearing this, the man pulled out a piece of paper from his pocket. It listed AIDS drugs available abroad, but the doctor said none of these were approved. They simply weren't available in America. Even if they worked, they still couldn't be bought. The doctor advised the man to stop wasting time. He should enjoy life with the time he had left. But he didn't want to give up. After all, being alive was the most wonderful thing. The man felt desperate and helpless. He went to a bar to numb himself, but news of his AIDS had already spread. As soon as the man sat down, someone started mocking him. Others couldn't help but join in the laughter. The man suddenly stood up and swung at them, but they all dodged away. Because the man now not only carried AIDS, he was also seen as a despised homosexual. With no other choice, the man could only leave the bar under everyone's discriminating stares. But then, for some reason, the man suddenly walked into a gay support group. Facing the friendly gestures from fellow patients, the man still appeared very resistant. After grabbing the AIDS-related materials from the table, he quickly left. Facing death, he felt fear for the first time. He began praying to God. He didn't want to leave this beautiful world yet. Perhaps the prayers really worked. He unexpectedly befriended a hospital janitor. The janitor would bring him AZT when throwing out trash. Though he had life-saving medicine, he not only lost his job, his old friends also started shunning him. But the man didn't let this bother him. One day the man went to get medicine as usual, but after taking his money, the janitor only gave him an address. Because the hospital had tightened control over AZT, the janitor couldn't keep stealing medicine for him. He told Ron to find a Mexican doctor at that address. There might be AIDS medication there. The man felt deceived. He threw a punch, but the janitor easily dodged it. He felt his condition getting worse. It didn't seem to be improving despite taking the special medication. Before he could recover, he collapsed and passed out again. When he woke up, the man was back in the hospital. The doctor found traces of AZT in his blood, but the man didn't rat out the janitor. After the doctor left, a fellow patient in the ward came to Ron's bedside. Her name was Rayon. Though born male, she had a female heart. The man made clear his stance of hating gay people. Rayon could only leave after hearing this, but less than a minute later, Rayon came back, holding a deck of cards. This successfully caught Ron's interest. But after the game, he'd lost all his money. Ron knew without AZT, even staying in the hospital meant waiting to die. So against the doctor's advice, he insisted on leaving. He decided to try the address the janitor had given him.